Rockabye baby in the treetop. Shh, quiet, quiet, quiet. Shh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. The baby is asleep. The baby's asleep. Asleep. Awake, no, asleep. The baby's asleep. Be quiet. Díselo a ellos. Tell them. Tell them to be quiet. Tell them to be quiet. Come on. The baby's asleep. The baby's asleep. The baby's asleep. Tell them to be quiet. Don't tell me to be quiet. I'm quiet. I'm being quiet. Don't tell me to be quiet. The baby's asleep. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Tell them to be quiet. Tell me to be quiet. Tell her to be quiet. Tell him to be quiet. And I'm telling you to be quiet because the baby is asleep.
Hello and welcome to today's class. Okay, let's look at the sentence for today. Are you ready? Bien. Tell them to be quiet. The baby's asleep. Okay, diles que se callen. El bebé está dormido. So la primera parte es tell them. Diles. Okay, tell them to. So significa diles que y después que se haga algo. Okay, so we always say to tell someone to do something. No olvides esa to. Es muy importante. Okay, so tell them to do it. Diles que lo haga. Ejemplos. Tell them to come here. Diles que vengan aquí. Tell them to come here. Tell them to look over the report. Diles que repasen el informe. Again, tell them to. No olvides el to. Muy importante. No me digas tell them look over or tell them come here. No, tell them to come here. Tell them to look over the report. Tell him to fix the washing machine. Okay, dile que arregle el qué. The washing machine, la lavadora. La palabra del día.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, Destiny. You need to have boots. Do you have your boots? You don't have your boots. That's what I thought. Well, tell your boyfriend to go get the boots for you. Tell him to go and get the boots from the shop. Yeah, tell him to get them. One moment. En inglés hay que decir tell him to get the boots. No se dice tell him that he, ni nada así. Tell him to get the boots, o lo que sea. That's right. Tell your boyfriend to go get the boots. Tell him to go to Sarah's shop. He doesn't know where it is. Well, okay, tell him that when he gets out of the metro, the first stop on the left, tell him to turn left, and then it'll be the first shop. He has no money. Tell him to borrow the money from April. Yeah, tell him to borrow some money from April. It'll be fine. All right.
Okay, veamos la segunda parte. Tell them to be quiet. The baby's asleep. Diles que se callen. El bebé está dormido. Okay, la segunda parte aquí es to be quiet. Okay, to be quiet significa que callarse or estar callado. Okay, so to be, el verbo to be, después quiet. Okay, di la palabra conmigo, quiet. Por ejemplo, be quiet. I'm teaching, right? Shh, right? So, cállate, estoy enseñando. Tell them to be quiet. Diles que se callen. Okay, tell them to, remember, tell them to be quiet. You have to be quiet in the library. Tienes que estar calladito, callado en la biblioteca. You have to be quiet in the library. ¿Dónde más? Where else? You have to be quiet in the movie theater, right? Y también, ¿dónde más? You have to be quiet in class, porque tienes que escuchar, right? You have to listen. So be quiet. The kids are sleeping. Shh, right? Cállate. Los niños están durmiendo. Okay, so be quiet. So to be quiet, estar callado. So keep practicing. We'll see you in a few minutes.
I'm fed up of this noise. This is the quiet area. That means you have to be quiet. Excuse me, sir. Yes, you. ¿Puedes callarte, por favor? Can you be quiet? Please. Callarse is to be quiet, not to be quiet. To be quiet. Dile que se calle a él. In English. Good. Be quiet. I have many things to do around here, you know, sir. Sir, you please be quiet. What? Okay, it's your children. So tell them to be quiet. Can you say, I have a lot of things to do. I'm trying to work, sir. Please be quiet. Okay, now everyone's quiet. I can listen to my music in peace.
Ok, ya estamos con la última parte. Are you ready? Bien. Tell them to be quiet. The baby's asleep. Diles que se callen. El bebé está dormido. Ok, la última parte. El bebé está dormido. The baby is asleep. Pero usamos la contracción. The baby's asleep. Decimos to be asleep. El verbo to be más asleep. Ok, ojo. Asleep. Asleep es una palabra y con la A, empezando con A. Asleep. Not to be sleep, pero to be asleep. Por ejemplo, the children are asleep. Los niños están dormidos. También se puede decir the children are sleeping. Están durmiendo. Es lo mismo. It's exactly the same. So the children are asleep. Be quiet. Shh. My grandmother's asleep. Right? Shh. Silencio. Or cállate. Mi abuela está dormida. Are they asleep? Yes, they are. Or no, they aren't. ¿Están dormidos? Sí o no. Tell them to be quiet. The children are asleep. Okay, tell them to be quiet. My grandmother's asleep. Tell them to be quiet. The baby's asleep. Keep practicing. We'll see you next time.
Well, of course I can look after your baby. I'm always here, so sometimes people ask me to look after their babies. Oh, the baby's asleep. Shh, the baby's asleep. Oh, shh, shh, shh. Do you want to come shopping with me? No, because you're asleep. Oh. Shh, the baby's asleep. Say it with me. The baby's asleep. Perfect. One more time. The baby's asleep. Oh, perfect. Shh, shh, shh. The baby's asleep. The baby's asleep. So April can't go shopping because the baby's asleep. Shush! The baby's asleep. Oh, whose dogs are those? The baby is asleep. Tell them to be quiet. The baby's asleep. Oh, shh, 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 shh. Yeah, the baby's asleep. But I want to go shopping. And the baby's still asleep.